where does this team rank in relation to the rest of the conference? Never mind the NBA, but the conference, because as we know, plenty of teams around the Celtics improved. They've had their preseasons. We were able to dip in on those. Obviously got our first look at the Nets with Kyrie and with Durant, and Durant certainly looking like he hasn't missed a step after missing all of last year. Irving, for the most part, looked pretty good as well. So, where is this team, especially when you consider everything that we've talked about with regard to especially Kemba Walker's injury? Where are they in the pantheon of the Eastern Conference?
I think I'd put them right in the middle of the playoff picture right now, like 4 or 5. I think Brooklyn's ahead of them. I was kind of waiting on what Kevin Durant looked like before making that proclamation, but I've seen enough. That looks like Kevin Durant to me. I know it's just preseason, but like he's doing everything he wants to do, pretty close to the level he's probably used to doing it at. So you got them, you got Milwaukee, who are healthy. I like the Drew Holiday addition. It's a kind of high risk, high reward for them, but they got Giannis back there, so they're not going to have distractions. They're going to be kind of in good shape. And Heat. I think Heat is the other team that I put just in front of them right now, based on, again, the moves they made this offseason. They lost a couple guys, but they also added some important pieces as well in terms of bench depth, and they have so much youth there. You expect all those guys to get better, and they don't have like a big injury like the Celtics do to start the year. So those three are there. And then you have, Philly, I think, is going to be right around that 4 or 5 spot. Indy, I expect to be kind of in that mix.
Raptors.
And it's Raptors too. Like that, those are all, like, we'll see. I don't expect all those teams to be good, but like, it's hard to tell right now which one of those teams is going to fall out of it, because from a talent level standpoint, they're all, I think, right there with, like, especially this version of the Celtics. When Kemba Walker comes back, that changes. But if the Celtics have this version of their team for the first 2 months of the season, then we
could be talking about a 7 or 8 seed.
Exactly. Like, that's not far-fetched.
I want to get into the not even just the conference. So look at their division. Like, is the Atlantic Division the best division in basketball this year? You have the Celtics, Nets, Philly, and Toronto. Now, I know the Knicks being there kind of levels them down a little bit. But you have 4 teams there that are all playoff worthy. Whether they make it or not, we'll see. Like with Toronto, I respect the hell out of Nick Nurse, Kyle Lowry and Siakam and OG Anunoby, losing both Gasol and Ibaka, tough. But, they still have a lot of championship pedigree there with those guys. Obviously, Brooklyn with Kyrie and KD, they're going to be in the playoffs. It's a matter of what seed. And then you have the Sixers with Joel Embiid, Doc Rivers, Ben Simmons. They have a sort of a retooled roster, and Boston's right there. So, Boston's going to really have a dogfight this year in their division. They might not be totally used to it over the years, but this year I think that's the most competitive division in all of basketball, especially without question in the Eastern Conference. But the Western Conference is always stacked certain ways, and they have a bunch of guys out there that are going to compete for playoff spots. But that Eastern conference in that division specifically, Brian, I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight all the way through.
Yeah, I think it's a great point by you, because you're facing all those teams 4 times, and so that does not help. For the Celtics, their schedule's already gonna be tough enough as is out of the gate, but they're probably gonna have one of the tougher schedules front to back than any team in the East, based off of that divisional alignment. So it's for a very long time, like, the Western Conference was the superior conference. I think we're reaching a point now where if the East is not on even footing, they might even be better from like 1 to 8 in the playoff picture, at least, because there's some, especially if James Harden ends up in the Eastern Conference too, which looks like it could happen sooner rather than later.